Hello again, and welcome to another edition of Tales from the Simulator Golf Tour. This week, the Pro Tour, Santa's XMAS Open. The X makes it extreme. We may be leaving the North Pole, but we're staying Rocky Mountain High. The Canadian Rockies, that is. Silvertip Golf Course, part of the Silvertip Resort in Canmore, Alberta, Canada. Really hard to believe this is a real place, but it is. Let's get a quick recap of round one. Really fun tee shots on this course, especially from the back tees. There were lots of opportunities to take on par fours and drive greens. Also at elevation, something I forgot to take into account as I drove this green very easily. There were risks and rewards present on almost every single shot. If you gambled and lost, you were finding yourself in really tough positions, and I was in the woods several times. I had to take at least 2 drops in the first round, including putting one in the water, and just really struggled with face control the entire round, something I tried to fix in the second round. But I had a pretty good game plan of how I could at least improve in round 2, and I did. If you're a really long hitter, you could really eat this course up. You won't believe what the leader shot. So let's jump on Santa's sleigh and head over to hole number 1. Hitting a 3 hybrid off the tee from 321, and I still nearly drove the green. A lot of these tee shots had elevation drops, and we were playing at a virtual 4,500 feet of elevation here, so everything was going a lot further. But I managed to hold the back edge of the fairway there, and so I'm technically putting for eagle on 1. And I was maybe a little bit too excited at the idea of starting 2 under, but I got the 7-footer to drop, so we were able to unwrap a birdie on the first hole and get back to even for the tournament after 1. Hole 2, another massive elevation drop. The fairway is super narrow, and there's nothing but trouble all around it. I just got lucky it didn't hit the cart path. Really struggled to draw my irons, and I wasn't even going to try and sling something around this tree at the pin. Just knew it wouldn't happen. I got lucky this ball didn't kick into the rough, and I just didn't have a very good feel for a bunker shot at this point. I don't think I hit very many in round 1. This left this one short, but in good position for another birdie. That should have been a birdie, but we move on to 3. 180-yard par 3 with the pin right up against a massive side slope. I was trying to play it off this hill, hoping for a bit of a cut back towards the pin. I'm glad this didn't take a kick into the deep rough, but this was definitely not the place to miss. It was such a feel shot, I just had to get it right, and I just missed it. I just hit it about a foot or 2 short. Short-sided shot down the hill. Really, anything in the circle is a miracle, and somehow this managed to stay in there. I definitely escaped there with a bogey. That could have been a double easy. Hole 4, pulled a 6-iron, really high risk, even trying to take on anything more than 200 yards off this tee. That water to the right was definitely in play. This was the safest shot I could have hit in that situation. I doubled this hole in round 1, sent my approach shot into the woods to the left here. Ended up in a huge mess, so happy to at least have a look at the green on my approach shot here. So I got another short-sided chip down the hill, and I was able to pop this one up, and it almost dropped. You know, I could be 3 under at this point, or 3 over, had the ball just bounced a little differently. So hole 5 is a dog leg left, and while I struggle to feel a draw with my irons, I don't have that issue with my driver. I think the low ceilings in my basement definitely subconsciously leads to me lowering my hands a lot, and I end up toe up a lot with the longer clubs. I made a bit of an adjustment during this round. I really tried to keep my hands high at address and hold that position, and using that more intentionally to hit draws and cuts. 182 yards, but I'm hitting an 8-iron in here because of this elevation. I think that was the right play there. So I left myself about 20 feet here for birdie. And just misread this one a little bit. Good putt, so we make par. Hole 7 is a short par 4, but it's uphill now. And we've got a lot of slope on the fairway, so no telling where the ball is going to end up. And this ball launched a little low, but right down the middle of the fairway. Caught some of that slope and ended up pushing way off towards the left edge. I like the distance I left myself with, but into wind at this elevation, it was really hard to gauge the distance here, and I just left it really short. And it doesn't help that I had some spin on that, and it's on a big slope that I didn't even see. So this ball took a while, kind of mocking me the entire time, just letting me know that this shot was getting worse and worse every second. So I was left with what was effectively about a 115-foot putt. Not something I have a feel for, looking to get this anywhere near the circle. Hopefully I don't find myself in situations like this often. I was able to lip this putt in and we made par. So we head to hole 8. In round 1, I botched this hole off the tee. I pulled a 3 hybrid and it just ended up carrying long and into that water. Really trying to focus on keeping my hands high here, not trying to let that lie angle push this ball even further left. This was about as good as I could hit this ball. Felt like kind of a green light situation to try to go for the green. Pulled out my 3 hybrid and really again tried to think about keeping those hands higher. Lasered another one right on a rope. The beauty of this 3 hybrid is how soft it can come in, even at these trajectories and distances. I caught the right spot of the slope here. This ended up rolling down and giving me a much more reasonable putt here for eagle. Uphill quite a bit, tough distance to feel out, and there was a pretty good amount of break there, and I almost got it to drop. That would have really been a stolen shot there, but I'll take a birdie. We're 2 under, heading to 9. Pretty straightforward drive here on 9. Just try to put something near the fairway. No big misses and you'll be okay. So I got about 95 yards in, another distance I would like normally, but the wind definitely knocked this shot down. Touched too much spin on this shot and it caught the edge of a slope and it trickled very slowly off the edge, ending up in the rough, so I got a chip out of here. Managed to pop this out. And this shot was tracking, but I'm happy to get in the circle and get out of there with par, so we're 2 under through 9. And we have a dog leg right here, so I really tried to keep the hands about as high as I think I can get them before I start running the risk of hitting the ceiling, which I have done several times. I got lucky this ball didn't come to rest behind a tree, and it's a par 5, so I'm not really concerned. Just trying to treat this as a 3-shot approach now. Just wanted to make sure I could give myself a shot here, have a chance at birdie still. This is another tough one to judge with the wind and the elevation there. I just sent it a little bit too far. Left myself a big breaking putt here for birdie. Definitely a big breaker here. Downhill. Sent this one through the circle. I got lucky that stayed on the green, to be honest. And this was a big momentum putt here. Really kept me in scoring mode and not defensive mode, and so I was able to keep my confidence high heading to 11. You know, and logic would dictate if I'd been successful adjusting my hands and getting the ball to move to the right, that if I'd lowered them back, they would move back to the left. And sure enough, the ball did move left here. Kind of a weird pitch shot off this hill. Ball's coming out right, wind is going right. Got to land this the right distance, and just left it a little bit too short. Didn't release enough. So we got a 16-footer here for birdie. And again, speed control was really bad putting. This one stayed in the circle by an inch. So it's decision time. Do I sack up like Santa and try to slay this back 9, or do I just hold on to my position and try to get whatever points I can on the tour to hold my rank? 1 or 2 under was probably not going to get me enough points to hold my position anyway, so I got to try to do something here. Got to try to press and get in. I had to start making shots. So I'm going no fear until the finish here. Landed about an inch inside the circle on the last hole, so I guess the sim giveth and the sim taketh, you know what I mean? 428-yard par 4, and I'm thinking 400 yards is actually doable with these conditions, so I tried to rip a drive. If you land in the right spot, you might have a chance, and, you know, didn't quite get there, but I'll take 377. But this is a really tough pin position to try to get up and down from. You had to really land this perfectly. Too much spin, this ball's coming back and rolling off the green. Landing it short, you might end up in one of these bunkers. It's all sloped. Got lucky this ball stayed up and did not kick back into these bunkers. And was just trying to get this in the circle, and holy cow, that one fell. So we got 2 in a row. We're 4 under. Things are happening. And I ripped this drive on 14. Just narrowly missed clipping that tree, but this ball settled into a pretty good position here to try and cut something into the pin. And just kind of pulled this one out to the left. But thankfully didn't end up in a bunker. Par 5, so we just got to try and get up and down here, and we get in the circle there. Don't even have to putt. So we got 3 in a row. We're 5 under. Got 4 holes left. After 14, I gave myself the goal that I need to try to be 6 under at the end of this round. That was my new target going forward. So we go to 15, pin up front on this par 3, guarded completely by water. Landed a little bit too far into what was a plateau that I did not quite see from the tee. I let myself an absolutely brutal, massive breaking downhill putt. This 48-foot putt was playing about 14 feet, and I think I played this maybe 15 feet to the right. And somehow it almost went in. I think I had the line. I just barely sent it too far, and this actually ended up in the rough. So being long was actually not that great of a miss, and I had to squeak out of there with a bogey. Just kind of take my medicine there. We're back to 4 under, but 6 under is still in reach. We got 3 holes to go, and I'm still feeling confident. 16 is a pretty straightforward looking tee shot. Got a little lucky I didn't clip that tree, and also pretty lucky I didn't send it into the trees to the right. On the first round, I was in those trees to the right, and it was not a good place to be. Guess I just didn't give it enough here. Maybe wasn't thinking about the deep rough. Gonna try and land something and get up and down here. Don't want to drop a shot here when you get the momentum. So I'm still feeling like I'm pressing and I got confidence. I'm still feeling confident that I'm going to get at least one more shot here. Trying to cut another 9-iron in here. It's really probably one of my favorite things to do is hit a cut 9-iron. I have the most consistency and control with it. Probably hit the most circles with that shot too, and there's one right there. This is another big risk-reward hole. If you hit a big sweeping draw here, you can catch this speed ramp, and I thought I got this one perfect. I sent it right at that bullseye target they have out here. It just did not have enough draw on it. Again, just trying to get myself in a position to make a putt for birdie. Not trying to do anything special here. Although that slope almost put me in incredible position. Really makeable putt, and I just left it short. It was definitely speed control that let me down putting today. I had a lot of the lines. Really proud of all of the corrections I made from round 1. Everything I did poorly in round 1, I did better at in round 2. I can definitely see how I could shoot 10 under or 11 under on this course, but wait till you see what the leader shot. So let's skate on over to the leaderboard, and you're not going to believe this, but the leader, Bandsager, again, 28 under. That's absurd. Let's just take a look at his scorecard to realize exactly what he did here. So we have a 57 in round 1, followed up by a really disappointing 59. I mean, that's insane. I just don't know how you could really come in with 2 rounds better than that. Oh, and look here, he's actually posted a video. And if you ever wonder if this stuff is real, just watch this. Subscribe to his channel. I'm new to all this. Looks like he live streamed this, which is even more insane. So the fact that more people don't know about how crazy some of the golf is at the high level of sim golf is really kind of criminal. It humbles you to see just the different levels of this stuff, and I just don't think the world has realized quite yet just how insanely good some people are at golf. Congrats to Bandsager there, but why don't you leave a few presents under the tree for the rest of us? I'm currently in 52nd place as of Wednesday. There'll be a lot of people going low on this course during the week. So I hope you all have a Merry Christmas or whatever it is that you celebrate this time of year. And until next time, I'll see you in the sim.